Hello, this is Mike Poore, Superintendent of Little Rock, and I want to come to all of you as stakeholders within our Little Rock School District community and share what I believe to be an important message, a message that I hope really helps everyone look a little bit towards the future. The future is right around the corner with school coming back in August, and I know that really today, the day that I'm taping, June 2nd, is the day that teachers just finished working and that kids just finished their assignments late last week. But it's important for everyone to kind of have something that grounds them a little bit and lets everyone understand a little bit of where we probably are headed. And I hope that through this discussion today that you'll start to get a sense of where the district is at. First and foremost, no matter what we're thinking about, and this seems so obvious, but now probably is more important than ever, is that we've truly got to give consideration to what the needs of kids are, maybe more so than ever. And we know that's always, our intent as educators, but I'm telling you, we have to escalate that to a whole new level as staff, as central office, as parents, and as even community members, because our kids have gone through tremendous challenges throughout this past school year, in particular the pandemic, and then now with protests that probably make many of our kids really have a lot of confusion and probably a lot of opinion, yet they're not physically with us, that we can support them. And as educators, that's what we want to do. And that's what we must do as we move forward. So as we think about things, we know that every child is going to be in a little bit different place. It doesn't matter whether you're a pre-K baby just coming in or you're going to be a senior next year. Your child, or you as a student, you're in a little bit different place because you're an individual and you have individual needs and you have individual strengths and weaknesses that are tied to that. That's what makes us special as humans. So how do we deal with that? Well, I think that one of the things that you're going to hear from us as we project forward, and we've learned so much from the surveys that you just finished completing, wonderful responses on surveys from parents and our staff, highest percentages of staff returns and family returns on surveys that maybe I've ever seen. This information is really helping shape a little bit of the direction of where we're going to go. And I say just a little bit because we have more feedback that we need. We have focus groups that are going to happen. We have over 300 people that said they wanted to be a part of focus groups. So that's wonderful. Parents and staff wanting to still continue the discussion. We're going to start that, and that's going to go through this week and through next week. That will help shape it. But we've also got teams working on curriculum. That's already been happening. So what does that all mean? Well, there are some things that we're in control of, and there's other things we're not in control of. What we're not in control of is what the Department of Health will tell us are the guidelines that we must follow. What are the guidelines for social distancing, or on what we have to do in terms of taking temperatures of students coming onto campus, whether we need to have kids fill out forms as they come into campus each day, whether the students need to wear masks. Those are things that will be dictated by the Department of Health. And as of yet, we have not received that guidance, but I believe that's going to come, probably not until around the 1st of July. What we can control, and the latitude that's been given by the Department of Education, is each school district in the state can kind of determine its own direction in terms of curriculum delivery. And I want you to understand, for us in Little Rock, we actually think that we're going to have to do this in multiple ways. The survey data said that there are many families that can't wait to go back to a traditional school setting. But there's equally just as many families, or a large number of families, that would love to not have the traditional school setting because they feel unsure about the environment in terms of safety given the pandemic, and would like to continue with a virtual platform. We've also learned a great deal about virtual delivery over the last 3 months, and it would be a shame if we didn't improve. And so with that, I see us being ready to try to support all learners, and that would mean that we are going to plan for us having a physical presence in school, that people can come into school. How many people can come in on school on a given day will be driven by the Department of Health. That could lend itself to almost like an alternate day type of delivery for some students coming in on one day, another group coming in the next day. We'll have to wait and see on that part. But we know that there are some families that won't want to come in at all, won't want to be in the school environment, but still want the education, and we'll have to do a virtual delivery. So I see us being ready to perform both things, but I also see us making some changes in our delivery. One of the things that we heard as criticism was that we need to have teachers more engaged, more involved with students. Certainly there were a lot of teachers that did a wonderful job, and I don't want to diminish anything about that, but we know that teachers make education happen. And so how we work on that as our next steps is really important. One thing that we've already agreed on about CARES funding is to purchase laptops for our teachers who need those laptops. And that will allow us to have greater access to the student and the teacher in terms of a delivery, and would allow us to have kids physically present in the classroom and at the same time do a virtual delivery for a student that's at home. That's a win. We need to work to move forward on that, and we need to provide training for our staff not only on how to use those tech tools, but then also how to deliver blended learning in a richer format. We also know that many of you have shared that you want to see electives or special classes or career ed classes, music, technology courses continue. And we've got to work to make that a reality and plan to do that. So in many ways, what you're going to see is an evolution from where we've been over the last 2 or 3 months. We've learned a great deal. You've helped us get better. Remember that when this first rolled out, it really kind of threw all of us for a loop, and we all worked together. And as the course of the 2 months that took place in April and May, I think we improved. So we're going to continue to get better, and we're going to continue to find a way to make next year even more meaningful for all learners, whether they're in a virtual or in present. We also know that there are going to be many kids that are going to need support as they come back in the environment. They've been away from a structured school environment. They've had challenges possibly within their community or their area. We've had the protests that have come on. So we're going to need to provide our staff with social emotional learning, the community school model that the city of Little Rock and the mayor and my staff have worked on. We know that we want to roll that out in a deeper way. So we've got those things also happening, and that means professional development again for our staff. Bottom line, I think that one of the things that's happening right now is that I sense that all of our employees, classified employees, certified meaning teachers, people are unified to say we've got to focus on what's best for kids. And I'm encouraged by what's happened over the last 2 or 3 months in that regard, and I believe that will propel us forward. But we're going to need your support as parents, and we're going to need the support of the community like we've never needed it before, in terms of everybody rallying around to support the Little Rock School District, to support the Little Rock students. That's the bottom line. And I believe we can get there. So as you think about this video, this helps propel us a little bit down the road, but we have a lot of work yet to come. And I know a lot of people want to have this laid out and just clearer, but that's not really right, because if we did that, there's so many other things that can adjust. I hope you're left, as you watch this video, with the fact that we're going to provide multiple formats of how students can get their education. And we can't think of a better way for a child to get all the needs met that make up a part of their life, that make them happy, than to be a part of the Little Rock School District. You'll be able to get it virtually, you'll be able to do it in present if you want that, but you're going to have some choices. And that's what we're moving towards. And you're going to hear greater definition as we work within the focus groups. We get greater definition from the Department of Health, Department of Education. You will hear from me again. So I want to tell everyone thank you for your efforts to finish our year of celebrating our Teacher of the Year and celebrating our graduates. I want to thank you all for helping us get devices back. We still have some out there, so if you have a device, please help get that back to your school. And I want to wish everyone a good summer. And I promise that we will be back with updates as we can. Thank you so much for your attention.